Ah, hell. Kyle Rittenhouse recently had a speaking engagement at the University of Memphis, and it did not go that well. Well, I guess it kind of depends on who you're talking to, but it was pretty rambunctious, right? Well, it didn't take long for old Rashad Richey to weigh in, and yeah, this is pretty bad, even by Rashad Richey standards. Hello out there. I am trying to get through.
With his powerful brainwaves cradled in the warmth of reasoning, it's time for Johnny Walker Dread to straighten you out on a thing or two. Emanating all the way from exciting Las Vegas, Oklahoma, it's the Johnny Walker Dread Show.
Kyle Rittenhouse, yep, he's touring, basically lecturing at universities. Obviously, there's significant backlash. Put up one of the promotions. Look at that.
Okay, it says the Rittenhouse recap. It shows a picture of Kyle Rittenhouse. Okay, what's the deal?
He's famous because he shot people.
That is true. I won't deny that.
Wow. Where Atlanta Black star Kyle Rittenhouse has colleges asking him to speak, to lecture. It continues to draw heavy opposition from campus communities. The organization behind Rittenhouse and his speaking tour, none other than Turning Point USA. Who else?
Well, I don't know. There could be a lot of organizations that are involved in this. But I do notice one thing. When it comes to the Kyle supporters versus the Kyle detractors, one side seems to know a lot more about what happened that night in Kenosha than the other.
Turning Point USA calls it the Rittenhouse Recap. And the tour is set to take place at the University of Memphis and Western Kentucky University this month, and also at Kent State University in April.
Okay, so it's called the Rittenhouse Recap. I think it's a terrible name, but I don't understand why that's such a deal. But then again, this is Rashad Richey, and he emphasizes every sentence that he speaks.
The event page or event pages state Rittenhouse will speak about the importance of the Second Amendment and the lies of Black Lives Matter.
Okay, so that's an opinion that you don't find agreeable. Does that mean he doesn't get to come out and say those opinions because you don't like them? I mean, if you have the ammunition to go to the protests and show him that he's wrong, then do so.
The Rittenhouse Recap at the University of Memphis. You see it there. That's their headline. At Kent State, one person launched an online petition calling for the university to cancel this Rittenhouse event. And more than 1,500 people have already signed it so far.
Yeah, the petition wasn't actually directed towards anybody. I did a video on this petition about a week ago, I think, and it's silly. And all those petitions from change.org look like they were written by middle schoolers. This one was no different. But another thing they were doing was they were trying to reserve all the seats and then not show up. I mean, that's pretty underhanded. Basically, you're denying people who want to hear what he has to say their right to be able to hear it. Worse, they canceled all the tickets and then reissued new ones, and this allowed the protesters to gobble up all of the tickets for themselves, and we all saw what happened there. Turning Point USA needs to start charging admission, even if it's only $5. Make them pay for the seats, and that way, if they're going to be gobbling up the seats for themselves, they're going to be donating to Kyle Rittenhouse's bottom line. But instead, Turning Point USA made the tickets free. In my opinion, that was really dumb. Maybe there's some rule that they can't charge, I don't know. But I don't think that was smart at all. But then again, they don't listen to me. Now, it appears that the university leaked the information about the ticket swap so that the protesters would have fair warning about what was coming, some foreshadowing, in which case they probably broke the law. That's a conspiracy to deny people their civil right, in which in this case it would be the right to hear someone speak. But I'll let Turning Point USA worry about it at this point. Oh, and I do have videos on it, 3 of them, in fact, where I have disclosed what was going on. So if you're interested in knowing what the ticket thing was all about, check in the description below and click on the links.
The petition's organizer, Ali Greco, wrote, and I quote, "As a member of the Kent State community, I am deeply concerned about an upcoming event hosted by student organization Turning Point USA."
Okay, so this person is now going to tell us what he or she fears is going to happen, right? Okay, we'll see.
Which will feature Kyle Rittenhouse as a guest. We must remember that our university should be a place of learning, for learning and growth.
Is it part of learning and growth listening to contrary opinions? Or do you simply want an echo chamber?
Not for promoting divisive figures or ideologies that could potentially incite more violence.
Well, the university is not promoting Kyle Rittenhouse. A student chapter has invited him to speak. Yeah, we're going to come back to this incite more violence because that's a great weapon for denying people their right to free speech. And that's why he's going to bring it up.
Let's put up the picture full mass. Rittenhouse on the left, illegally holding a firearm, in my opinion.
Illegally holding a firearm, in my opinion. This is the guy who claims to be a lawyer. And he doesn't understand that for it to be illegal, you have to have a statute that bans it. And you can't find one. So it's not a matter of your opinion, Rashad. This is a matter of law. And if the law allows Kyle Rittenhouse to carry the weapon, then it's legal. The law doesn't give a damn about your feelings.
Was 17 when he fired a semi-automatic AR-15 style rifle at 3 men, killing 2 of them.
Yeah, these men attacked him first. It's very clear. It was on video. All 12 members of the jury saw everything that transpired on video. All 12 looked at that and said, that is self-defense. Too bad, Rashad. That's the way it goes. This is not like OJ, where it was all circumstantial evidence, although there was a mountain of it. The jury in Kyle's case saw everything unfold on video, and they heard from numerous witnesses who saw what happened. The prosecution never could put up a single witness that really undermined Kyle's story. And there were plenty of witnesses that supported it. So, too bad.
Remember this during a 2020 demonstration against the police shooting of Jacob Blake on the right. This was in Wisconsin. In 2021, he was acquitted of 5 charges, including intentional homicide. Him and the judge had a significant love fest during that entire ordeal.
Oh, that is so sickening. You have got to be kidding. But then again, Rashad doesn't understand the law. He has no clue. He claims 2 Juris Doctorates. He wouldn't know stare decisis if it bit him in the butt. Here is the deal, okay? In every one of the judge's rulings, the judge relied on sound legal principles. And I have asked many people to say, show me where the judge made a mistake, and they can never do it. And if you disagree with me, hey, in the comments section, you can point out cases where the judge say, blew it, and I will respond to you, I promise.
The man who got him the gun, well, he got a penalty, a criminal penalty for doing so.
Rashad, are you capable of getting anything right? Anything? The friend, by the way, Dominic Black, was initially charged criminally, but he pled down to a non-criminal citation, a non-ordinance violation, a ticket, non-criminal. So as a result of the Kenosha shootings, Dominic ended up with no criminal record. But Rashad doesn't understand that.
Kyle Rittenhouse, none.
Yeah, it's called acquittal.
Let me explain a few things.
Oh, this ought to be good. Rashad Richey is now going to explain to us a few things.
Universities that have student organizations or student groups that are official and affixed inside of the institution have a significant amount of, let's just say, freedom. The freedom of speech is pretty absolute. except for some rare cases. For example, if a student organization invites somebody or a group that may create a level of violence, well, guess what? The president can step in and say, no, I'm utilizing the caveat of safety in order to say no to this particular exercise of your speech.
But it's your cronies that are causing the violence, Rashad. Kyle Rittenhouse's supporters are not going out after the speech and rampaging and beating people up. No, it's your side that's doing that. And so you hear the dog whistle here. If you have somebody coming to campus that you don't agree with, create turmoil, create threats, create violence, and then you can use this clause to have that speech canceled. That's what he's telling everybody.
That is allowable. All right. In 1970, okay? In 1970, Kent State was the site of a deadly shooting carried out by the Ohio National Guard. Guardsmen killed 4 college students and wounded 9 other students who were protesting against news the U.S. would be intensifying Vietnam War efforts by invading Cambodia.
Yeah, I went over that shooting in a previous video. It's unfortunate what happened.
The shooting triggered student strikes nationwide, forcing hundreds of college campuses to immediately close. Several social media users, including those affiliated with Kent State, denounced this Rittenhouse invitation and questioned why the campus would invite a man who shot and killed protesters to a campus that has a history of gun violence. Some call the event tone deaf and detrimental to the student body. It's not.
I think it's tone deaf. I don't think it's detrimental to the student body. I mean, nobody is going to get hurt by Kyle Rittenhouse showing up and giving a speech. But symbolically, yeah, it's pretty bad. And I spoke out against this in a previous video. And I'll post a link to the video in the description for that one as well. But as to why they would invite him, because evidently there are people at Kent State that want to hear him. That's the way it goes. But I still wouldn't have done it.
Not tone deaf. It's tone intentional. They're not tone deaf. Turning Point USA is being intentional with this tone. They know exactly what they're doing. They know that this is divisive. They know Kyle Rittenhouse is controversial. That is the reason they are submitting him in this particular way.
Oh, they're bringing a controversial figure to a college campus. Oh my God. We got to do something about this. If you're going to invite a speaker to a college, make sure he's not controversial.
And I guarantee you there is a paycheck connected to this somehow, some way to Rittenhouse. He's being.
Oh, wait. Kyle might be getting paid for performing a speaking engagement? Oh my God. That has never happened before. In all the history of public speaking, this notion that the public speaker would be paid for the appearance. Oh, got to do something about that. And I wonder, Rashad, if you've ever been paid to give a speaking engagement.
Paid. But let's go back to the reality of what is. Rittenhouse is coming to a college campus because there are a number of students on that campus who want him there. A small minority, I would imagine.
Well, it doesn't matter. The size of the population is not an issue. And think about that, Rashad. Think about size of population, minority. I wonder why it's not important to dismiss the wishes of a small number of students when it comes to inviting people to come to campus.
But still, a student organization properly affixed to the university has invited Rittenhouse, which is insane to me.
Wait, they're properly affiliated and they have invited him, and that's insane. So would you rather have them improperly affiliated? I don't know. He doesn't either.
All right, so Kent State released a statement after the event was announced. Quote, a registered student organization is bringing this speaker to campus. Kent State University upholds the First Amendment rights of free speech and peaceful assembly for all. As a state university, we permit groups and individuals to speak and share their views on our campus about topics they feel are important. Kent State has a long history of allowing peaceful dialogue from all points of view, including those whom some may feel are offering different and or sometimes controversial opinions. It continues.
Okay, keep in mind, everything that was said here seems perfectly reasonable. Kent State University upholds the First Amendment. They permit groups and individuals to speak and share their views, sometimes from people who are controversial. Where's the problem? Well, you'll see here in a moment.
As with any speaker invited to our campus, the university does not endorse or condone an opinion or point of view represented by the speaker, nor does the university advocate for any topic the speaker might discuss during their visit to campus. We continue to support and encourage freedom of expression and the free exchange of ideas. Consistent with our core values, we encourage open dialogue and respectful civil discourse in an inclusive environment.
Okay, so let's see here. Does not endorse or condone an opinion. Okay, so they're neutral. Supports and encourages freedom of expression, free exchange of ideas, open dialogue, and respectful civil discourse. I don't see a problem with this, but there is a problem. Hang loose.
So the Western Kentucky University spokesperson said, while WKU's commitment to free speech includes allowing groups to invite guests to campus, that does not mean that the university supports, endorses, or agrees with the views of those individuals.
Okay, I don't see an issue here. What's the problem? Seems like a perfectly normal, rational thing for a university to say when they have a controversial figure show up on campus to give a speech. But wait, you'll see the problem.
All right. Now, you will see all of these presidents have one thing in common. Let's put them up full mass.
There it is. There's the problem. I'm not joking. That is the problem. Race. It didn't take long. It didn't take long for Rashad Richey to play the race card. Let's listen.
Can you tell? From left to right, you have Kent State University President Todd Dicon, Western Kentucky University President Timothy Caboni, and University of Memphis President Dr. Bill Hardgrave. All right, gentlemen, let's keep that picture up for a second.
Oh, yeah, we have to keep that picture up so that everybody gets a chance to see the problem.
Gentlemen, I've worked in the university system since 2016. Naturally, at any time you all can utilize the stroke of your pen and declare that this is going to be, well, a significant event that could be, well, let's just say problematic on the campus, and then require the sponsoring organization to provide a security protocol, which includes their own security detail, or pay the university security extra in order to maintain the opportunity. I'm talking to the students who may oppose this. You all can launch the same complaint as well.
Okay. So in other words, if you have a speaker coming that you don't want to hear, what you do is incite enough threats and protests to drive up the cost of security so much that the sponsoring organization cannot afford it. That's what he's telling you to do. That's a strategy. He's saying that's what you should do from this point on. Threaten. Make it appear as if total mayhem is going to erupt if this person comes on. And then you can go to the university and say, hey, according to what we're getting here, my compadres are out here. We're going to tear up the place. We're going to riot. We're going to beat up people and stuff like that. Have you spent enough money on security to keep us from doing that? Oh, you haven't? Well, what about the speaker that's coming? Have you charged enough to protect him from us? Well, you haven't? I guess you're just going to have to cancel the event. Guys, this is not an exaggeration. That's what he's saying. This is bad. I've never seen a person dog whistle for violence so blatantly. I mean, he's saying it.
Also, students, you have freedom of speech too. Those that oppose Rittenhouse, the same freedom that he has to say what he wants to say on your campus, you have that same freedom. How about you talk when he's talking?
How about you not? Because that is not okay. Talking over him so that he cannot get his message out is denying him his right to free speech. Yes, the protesters have a right to free speech, but they do not have a right to interrupt the other person's speech. Mr. Two Juris Doctorates, both of which are fake. Well, actually, one of them is not fake. He failed out, so he couldn't get it. I'm sorry, you don't know the law. You don't have the right to drown out somebody for the express purpose of preventing that person from being able to speak. So organize your own protest. You could do that. Invite somebody to your campus who has an opposing view. And if you do, I bet those same people that went to see Kyle Rittenhouse would not show up and disrupt yours.
Freedom of speech. All right, Sharon, thoughts here.
Well, it's by design.
And by the way, it's now going to get dumber. Well, okay, maybe not.
Turning point, and I'd say the Republicans in Congress too. Another one that they can put some lighter fluid on, stoke another cultural fire, if you will. This war. It's why the Republicans introduced the Respecting the First Amendment on Campus Act. It's why they held those hearings, and Stefanik, poked her chest out and is very proud that, she got rid of a couple of university presidents who are cowering right now. Not the three that you put up for obvious reasons. Right. It's a distraction, and it's meant as the election draws nearer, Dr. Richey, to stoke the flames. Let's get it on. Let's cause violence.
That's right.
But wait, it was your side that went over and started the violence. Kyle Rittenhouse's supporters didn't do any violence. I mean, they went inside and tried to listen to Kyle speak. It was your side that initiated the violence.
Right. And remember, all of these things are emerging at the same time. Turning Point USA having a college tour of somebody that, in my opinion, is a flaming bigot. And
based on what? What has he said that is so bigoted? Well, maybe he has, but it would be nice if you could justify your claims at some point. At any rate, that's enough. There's only so much of Rashad Richey I can stomach. Like my video, subscribe to my channel.